Hey everyone, we're out here at Otter Springs. We've had some rumors, we heard some rumors of the elusive Florida Wendigo. So we're out here to do a little exploring on the trails to see if we can find them, or at least get a glimpse of them. So here's one of the trails leading back into the woods, into a swampy area. Hopefully we'll get a glimpse of them. Want to go down? Which trail you want to go down? This one looks pretty.
I say let's go down that one.
This one?
Yeah.
Yeah, looks like something might be hiding down in here.
What's that right there?
Oh, I think we might be on the right trail. There's some bones here. Whoa.
Oh my God, what's that?
There he is. It's the Florida Wendigo.
We got him on recording.
Yeah, we got him on video. That. Woo! Whoa. Oh no.
I don't know if we should go any closer.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay back here.
Bones. Look, he's got a pile of bones there too.
Yeah. Oh, this must be his feeding ground. Woo!
Might not want to do that.
I'm gonna get a little bit closer.
I don't know, maybe you shouldn't get any closer.
Oh, he looks like he just ate. He's got a lot of blood on his mouth.
I don't know, I think we should get back.
Yeah, let's go. All right, we're getting out of here. All right, guys, we're gonna take a run for it. All right. Okay, everyone, I'm back with a new video. It's a tutorial video on how we made this stalk around costume. It's what we're calling a Florida Wendigo stalk around. So I'm going to go over the steps of how we created it. First thing I worked on is the frame. It's made out of 1-inch PVC, some 1-inch tees, and some 1-inch 90-degree elbows. It sits up on your shoulders, which will make the overall height of this costume 8.5 feet. So all it is 1-inch PVC. So the bottom part of the frame that sits on your shoulders, I've got 4 20-inch pieces of 1-inch PVC. These 2 pieces here are 12 inches. Everything's connected with tees, 1-inch tees. And then up here we got 4 90s. And then these 4 pieces here are 5-inch. And then we have a tee, another tee here. So we have 2 tees, and this is the extension part. This is the extension. These pieces are 24 inches long. Got 2 of them, and they connect to 2 more tees. And then we got 2 5-inch pieces here that connects to a tee. Then the neck piece is 4 inches, and then the shoulder pieces are 3 inches. So that part sits up on your shoulders, and then the head is up here, and then the costume goes over the rest of it. So that's the frame part of it. And then I just screwed everything together with some small 3/4 inch Phillips head screws. And that's the frame. And later on I'm going to show you how we added the padding and the costume and everything. And then this is the neck, head, extension part. Attached to the helmet. Helmet goes on your head. That way when you turn your head or nod your head, the whole mechanism turns with you, or back and forth. And how I made that was with a tripod pole with a swivel. This is one of the tripod legs. It's extendable. I made it where we could adjust it. I attached it to the helmet. This is just a baseball helmet. I cut the rim off of it, the bill off of it, attached the hinge to it, then I attached that hinge to the tripod pole. This is one of the legs off of a tripod. And the other end that attaches to the head is another hinge. I attached that to a piece of 5/8 inch plywood that I cut out to fit the head, and I'll be showing you the head in a minute. And then this is the upper part of the tripod, the swivel part. I've got a set screw in it right now. Take the set screw out and I'll show you that thing moves. So that's the swivel part. That's able to, on the head, when you pull your head up and down, that'll be able to move. Put the set screw back. And then this is an extension pole that goes on there. I'm going to leave that off for now because I'm going to put this onto the frame. I need this off, and I'll add that afterwards once this sits down. This part sits down into the frame. Like that. And then that pole slides on here, and then I put a stop around that pole with a screw in it, a set screw that keeps that from popping out. Now we'll see that later. So this is what I'm using for the head. We're calling this prop the Florida Wendigo costume, stalk around costume. This is just a real gator head. I got it off of eBay. I cut this piece of wood, this piece of 5/8 plywood, piece of plywood to fit inside the bottom jaw. See if I can show you guys. So I just traced out around the bottom jaw so that would fit in there. And you can attach the gator head to the piece of plywood. So that's what I'm going to do now. And to attach the head to the plywood, I just use 1 5/8 drywall screws. I pre-drilled through the bone part of the head, and then I also countersunk so the screw would sit down flush. Okay, so now the gator head is attached. Now I can put this part on. Sits down in there. And you can turn. When you turn your head's inside the helmet. When you turn your head, the gator head turns. Now we add this piece. Make sure it goes all the way up and seats on this part here. And then this is the stop. Just a piece of 1 inch PVC. I'm using it as a stop. Slide that and back the screw out. Slide that over that extension piece. Make sure it's all the way up, flush against this T, the bottom of the T. And then we drive it in and then that holds that. Well, that doesn't come out, but it's still able to turn. I'll release the set screw, and it's able to also move up and down, nod, whatever. But I keep the set screw in it, so because this gator skull has a little bit of weight to it, so I keep a set screw in it so it's not always falling down. Alright, so that's that part. Okay, well, we're moving on to the arms. I use the same 1-inch PVC pipe. I've got this is the upper arm. So I got two 25-inch pieces cut for the upper arms, left and right. And then the lower arms, I've got two 14-inch pieces cut. Got two T's, 1-inch T's. And then a 4-inch piece, little extension piece at the elbow, so you'll be able to control the arm. It just helps you hold on to it, and that way you can move the arm around. And then I've got it all attached. I just use a rope. So I fed the rope through the upper arm piece, down into the T, over into the lower arm piece, and out a hole. I drilled a 3/8-inch hole, fed the rope through that hole, and then I just tied a knot. So it holds it all together there. And then for the top, see the shoulder, I have a 3/8-inch hole drilled in the back of this 3-inch PVC piece. I just pull that you need to leave a little bit of play in it so it's has a free motion. And I just tie a knot, and that holds the arm in place. Okay, so now I'm going to do the other arm. So that's how you attach the arms. And I do have another section of the forearm to add with the hands, and I'm going to show you how I came up with that. Okay, so I was looking for something cool for the hands to kind of match the gator. I was thinking about making them, but then we were at Walmart looking at their Halloween display, and I saw these guys, the dragon arm with a hand, and there's a ring that goes through this little dragon head that's attached to the light, and it sits there like the dragon hand is holding the light. I had already removed the ring, so I winded up taking this apart and using these hands for the hands of the Stalk around costume, which came out like that. I took all the screws out of the bottom plate, pulled the arm off. I had to drill out. I think I used a 3/4-inch bit, paddle bit, drilled this out so a 3/4-inch PVC pipe could fit in there, and then I liquid nailed it just around there to hold it in place. Also ran a screw, a drywall screw, 1 5/8 down into through the arm into the PVC pipe to hold it in place while that liquid nail dried. And then I painted it. First I went over with a black, and then I went over with fluorescent green, and then I stained it with this stain, and I got kind of close to the color of the skull. or kind of got close to the color of the gator head. So that'll work for me. And then this, slides into the 1-inch PVC. I've got a set screw. Slides in there, a set screw goes in there, holds it in place, and then that's your arm. So let me take this guy apart, and I'll come back and show you how I prepped this for the paint, because there's some screw holes that I went and I filled them in with some, what did I use? I think I used liquid nail to fill these in. So I'll be back to show you that process. Okay, now that I got those pieces cut off, I can drill the hole for the PVC pipe to fit inside the arm. For that I use a 1-inch hole saw. Kind of get it centered. There we go. Hole. I got a 3/4 inch PVC pipe, 10 inches long. Gonna fit in there. I'm going to leave 4 inches of it out. To do that, I put a set screw through the arm down into the PVC pipe, and then on the other arm I use liquid nail to adhere the PVC pipe to the arm. I think this time I'm going to use some epoxy. I'm going to steal some of my wife's epoxy resin, the fast set, to seal that hole up. And then I'm also going to use the epoxy to fill up all these little screw holes, because I need it to be done fast so I can continue the process. So I'll be back to show you that after I get all that epoxied in. I'll be back to show you. Okay, I'm back. I epoxied over all the holes, the screw holes that were holding the hand and the arm together, and I epoxied the PVC pipe down into the dragon arm. It was a fast set epoxy, so it's all set up. And now I gotta give it a coat of black paint, and then a light coat of green paint over the black, and then I'll let that dry, and I'll come back and show you a quick staining process. Okay, so I gave it a coat of black paint, a base coat, and then a light coat of the green over that, and then I came back with a very light coat of a fluorescent yellow, and that's where we're at. So I'm going to let this dry about an hour. I'm going to come back and do the staining on the arm and the hand, and also this is the headpiece that's going to go on the gator head. I'm going to need to stain just this little bone part, so I'll do that when I'm doing the arm. So I'll be back in an hour and show you guys that quick staining process. Okay, I'm back. I let the paint dry. It's been about an hour. Not tacky. I'm going to go ahead and stain the arm and this little bone piece on the antlers. And I'm going to actually do a two-step staining. The first one I'm going to put on is this one. That's to darken it up, give it that dark color like this one. And then I'll come back and put this one on it to give it that glossy look, because it has a polyurethane in it. And it'll give it a shiny, glossy look. And earlier when I painted this guy, here's the paints that I used. The cheapy black paint, Home Depot paint. And all these are from Home Depot. This is the green, the light green I put over the black. Actually, this one is from Rural King. This is a fluorescent yellow. Those were the paints I used. Now I'm going to stain. Good coverage. I'm gonna let these both sit about 10 minutes. I'll come back and wipe them down. Okay, it's been about 5-10 minutes. I'm gonna wipe this one down first because the bone is I'm gonna dab these. They're still a little wet. I mean, if you want it to be a lighter color, trying to match another color, I'm trying to go for the color of the gator head, as close as I can get. But if you want a lighter color, you can wipe more of the stain off or put less of the stain on. I'm going to go ahead and put a coat of this stain on there to give it that glossy look. And this one I'm not going to wipe down. I'm just going to brush it on and let it dry on there. And my shop is well ventilated. I got 2 fans running, blowing the air out. I mean, you could skip the staining step if you want to and just paint it. If you can get the desired look that you're going for with paint, you know, you can skip the staining part. But I kind of like how the stain gives it that extra look. Especially this one with the glossy look that it leaves. Alright, that's pretty good. I'm going to let this guy dry. I'm going to give him about an hour. And I'll be back. And we'll start putting the costume on this guy. And then we'll attach the arms. And we'll put him on and walk around and see what he looks like. Alright, so we'll see you in about an hour. Okay everyone, we're back. Got my wife with me. She's going to be helping me. First we're going to put on the padding on the frame, and then we're going to be putting the costume on and then attaching the arms. And then hopefully if it all goes well, I'll put the costume on and we'll see what it looks like walking around with it. Alright, so the padding, I'm just using pool noodles and some foam out of, I think this came out of a couch cushions. These are the front pieces. Most pool noodles have a slice in them. These didn't. These are the bigger ones, so I just cut a slice through it and just popping them on over the PVC. Alright, there's all the padding is on for the shoulder part of the frame. And then this piece here is for the chest. Instead of putting a bunch of foam on it, I just got this little piece of plastic. I'm not sure where I had gotten this from. We have a whole roll of it, so I might as well use it.
The repurpose project.
The repurpose project in Gainesville, where we got this from. I was just gonna attach it like that, so it creates type kind of like a chest. Okay, so there's the chest piece. So now we're gonna put the costume on. I'm gonna move him to the side for a minute so we can show you the costume that my wife made. We started out with a costume we had found at a thrift store. I think it was like a Viking costume. And then we added a bunch of burlap to it, or a burlap type material, or my wife did. So this was the original costume, the dark brown. And it does have sleeves under here, but we added the longer sleeves because of course the arms are going to be longer than a regular sized person. But she sewed all this together, so this is the costume for it. Alright, so now we're going to put it on. So we'll be back in a minute to show you once it's on the frame. Okay, there's the costume on. We still have to add the arms. Grab that side, we'll pick them up. Oh, he's going to be a lot taller than that. It's just, that's the limit of my ceiling in this part of the shop. But anyways, we're going to attach the arms now. Alright, so we got the padding on the arm. We're feeding the rope through like I showed you earlier. Chest piece. So we forgot to put the chest piece on. I mean, we got the chest piece frame on, so we're going to add this padding on it. We finally got the chest padding in. Pull that sleeve down. And the other arm on. Hold that on. Okay. We're attaching the other arm, the left arm. We'll just tie a knot in it in the rope, and that's all it's going to hold it on. If you want to put a double knot, that'd probably be better. But we're just going with the single right now. Okay, that one's attached. Pull the sleeve down. Right, now we can attach these guys. There's one. Put this back on. There's that one. Alright, we're going to get the costume situated on him. And I got a collar. So these are going to be the collar. They're just some feathers. What were these called?
They're shoulder pad feathers.
Shoulder pad feathers. We had gotten for a costume. I'm going to use them as a collar on here. Something like that. So we're going to attach this and then situate the costume, and then we'll be back to show you the finished product. Alright, we're back. We went ahead and put the collar on, the feather collars on. So that's attached, and we're going to go ahead and attach the antlers to the head. I'm going to lower the head a little bit. Alright, so we're going to put the antlers on. So I just drilled 2 holes in the back all the way through the bone plate, and then screwed it into the back of the bone plate of the
Skull.
the skull of the gator. So I'll get my wife to hold that. There we go. That's attached. Okay, so we're back. We got the antlers attached. And then we got these little pieces of creepy cloth. We're just going to throw across the shoulder. And we'll attach that with like a little tack stitch or even a safety pin. I just wanted to hang something like that. Alright, so pretty much the finished product. So I'm gonna try him on, make sure he fits, and then we'll be back to show you him walking around, make sure everything works.